Wednesday, the Warriors were in Charlotte. They spent the off day there yesterday and practiced there today before flying to Canada. Now, Steph Curry is playing out of this world good. He can cash in threes from basically half court. So how do you guard him? Nobody seems to have it figured out yet. 20 games in the books, and the Warriors are 20-0. They faced the Raptors Saturday in Toronto, and if you remember, the Raptors put up a good fight in Oakland last month. Luke Walton knows that the Dubs plan to stay perfect. They have a few things to clean up first. When you're as good as the Warriors are, you need to constantly find new ways to motivate yourself. For example, taking on a team like the Bucks that beat you only 6 days ago, giving you your first loss of the season. If that's not enough, maybe some of the Dubs, like Draymond Green for example, didn't appreciate the way the Bucks celebrated. For more on the matchup, here's Greg Papa, Kalina Azubuike, and the Saint. We have some unfortunate news to report. Former A's general manager and current Mets GM Sandy Alderson has been diagnosed with a treatable form of cancer. The club announced Friday that Alderson will begin chemotherapy next week. He's expected to continue his GM duties while undergoing the treatment, but he will not attend next week's winter meetings.
For their careers, Corey's mowed down a lot of hitters from the mound. And Marks made a lot of contact against the competition, but these battery mates say they've both benefited from each other. Now, the result on the court wasn't quite as good for the men, but there was one bright spot. Brent Haley made 5 threes for 15 points. However, the senior point guard said the real highlight of his night was all the support he got from his family, his teammates, and his coach.
Both went to college right here in the state. Both slipped a little farther in the draft than they would have wanted to. But now, both are lighting it up in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr. Rodgers, he's been doing it for a little longer, but Carr, he could be the next wave. Here's what the two have done so far this season. Carr looking a bit better in just about every category except for wins and interceptions. But Carr, he's got a better completion percentage and more yards. Now, the two will face off this Sunday in Oakland.
This is the 52nd straight year that SF State wrestlers have qualified for nationals, and Coach Jensen attributes that success to tradition and hard work. And in this final practice before St. Louis, they're hoping that a little more hard work will lead to them having their opponents on their back at nationals.
Now let's head to Dallas where the Mavs are hosting the Rockets first quarter. Darren Williams with a no-look pass to Dwight Powell, who gets the bucket and the foul. Didn't really mean to rhyme there, but I did.
You're a poet and you don't even know it.
He would end up missing the free throws, though, but the game tied at 15. Next Mavs possession, Powell, this time with the emphatic dunk. And Dallas, they'd go ahead. Second quarter, Ty Lawson uses the pump fake, and he gets the circus shot to go in. And one. And Houston, they're currently up 10 in the second quarter. And the Warriors, they're so good they had to leave the country. Well, not really, but they are in Canada where they'll try to win their 21st straight on Saturday. We have a preview. Sportsnet Central starts now. And we have a developing story out of Santa Clara. The team president, Parag Marate, will no longer serve in that role after the conclusion of Super Bowl 50 at Levi Stadium. However, he will still reportedly be the lead contract negotiator and oversee the salary cap. Here's the 49ers head coach speaking on the whole situation. We have a news alert. Barry Bonds is officially back in baseball. But not with the Giants, instead with the Miami Marlins. The team announced that Bonds will serve as their hitting coach. Previously, Bonds has spent some time with the Giants as an instructor during spring training. On a conference call, Bonds said, quote, "This is the only opportunity that was presented to me. I'm excited to be here with the Marlins. I just want to let everyone in San Francisco know that I love them a lot. This is my home. This is where I'm from. But this is the opportunity that came up for me." And we have breaking news on Zach Greinke. A surprise team lands the former Dodgers ace. We'll have the details, and we'll tell you how the NL West just got a whole lot tougher. We have breaking news. Former Dodgers ace Zach Greinke is reportedly taking his talents to the desert and signing with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Ken Rosenthal of Fox Sports broke the story. It's reportedly a 6-year deal for around $206 million. It had been reported that for weeks, Greinke was deciding between staying with the Dodgers or coming over here to the Giants. So with that, we welcome you into Toyota Sportsnet Central. I'm John, she's Sonia. So, we get a big surprise. Neither the Giants nor the Dodgers land Zach Greinke. The silver lining here for San Francisco, though, at least he's not going back to LA, right, Sonia? Now, speaking of the Warriors, they took on the Kings in the first round of the playoffs in the Summer League. There you see Carl and Vlade sitting together. No beef between those guys. Speaking of beef, this guy, Willie Cauley-Stein, he was eating today. You see him with the nice close layup. Then he grabs a board, gets a nice easy dunk from a pass from Dukin, and with a chase down block on Chase and Randall. More from Willie Cauley-Stein coming up. James Michael McAdoo, he had a good first half as well. Comes up with the steal and the dunk. Then he gets a nice little pass and makes the basket in the lane. Then an easy bucket here, nice little turnaround, and one. He'll take the foul. McAdoo, he had 11 in the first half and 20 for the game. A little bit of a scary moment here in the second half for Sacramento. Cauley-Stein seems to get a little tangled up there. He apparently banged his left knee. He'd have to leave the game limping off the court. He'd get treatment for that knee. You see the wrap there over it. But he would return a little bit later. Now, Warriors' first-round pick, Kevon Looney, he's going to show you the range right there. Splash. Then he works in traffic to get the easy bucket. I'll take that. Then you see him knock down the mid-range jumper just to show off the full arsenal. Looney, he finished with 11 points. Under a minute left here. Cauley-Stein back on the floor, throws down the alley-oop. That knee, it's looking okay, but the Warriors, they'd win 83-67 with McAdoo leading all scorers. We got a news alert. The Dodgers are having some problems nailing down Japanese pitcher Hisashi Iwakuma. Iwakuma agreed to a 3-year deal worth around $45 million, but the 34-year-old failed his physical with the team. This, according to a Japanese newspaper. The two sides could still rework the agreement.
Records were made to be broken. In the final game of the season, SF State catcher Mark Lindsay became the college's all-time career hits leader with 213.
It's a pretty cool thing, you know. Not a lot of people get to say that they're the top of the leaderboard, that they've had the most hits of all time, nonetheless just to be on the top 10 list of any program or of any team. So it's a pretty cool thing.
And when Mark's not setting records, he's on the receiving end of them. Corey Davis, the closer for SF State, finishes his career as the university's all-time saves leader with 21.
It was a record that stood for 20-something years. Being able to come out and have the opportunity to really just come out there, get a save, help my team out, and really just kind of put my names in the book here at San Francisco State. It's a great accomplishment.
For their careers, Corey's mowed down a lot of hitters from the mound. And Mark's made a lot of contact against the competition, but these battery mates say they've both benefited from each other.
Me and Corey have a good reputation, good chemistry together, so it's pretty fun when me and him get to go out there and battle together.
Like, he's my dude. He's my guy back there. He comes out there when usually have a pitch in mind of what I want to throw next. He's on the same path as me. He puts down that pitch right away.
Head coach Mike Cummins definitely has trust in their rapport on the field.
I just think with those two guys in the game, it's like, okay, here we go. We got our best two guys out there. Whatever happens, happens.
And if you don't believe Mark and Corey are on the same page, just ask them what Corey's best pitch is.
Fastball.
No, man, I love my fastball.
Best pitch is by far his fastball because he could locate it and it's just, he pounds the zone, you know?
There's been some innings where I throw nothing but fastballs.
Both players said they'd like to continue their baseball careers after graduating. One thing's for sure, their relationship will continue on in the record books. At San Francisco State University, I'm John Wilson, State of Events.
February 21st wasn't just the final home games of the season for the men's and women's basketball teams. For Michelle Sutton, Leticia Galarza, Liz Wersch, Christian Juarez, Bren Haley, Sam Colmenero, and Udin Osakwe, it was the final home game of their college career. And the women's game was a special farewell. They beat Chico State to win their first game of the season.
I wanted to get, and the whole team wanted to get at least one win at home in front of our crowd. And it feels good that it feels even more better because it happened on our senior night.
Their coaches won a Division II championship, but said this victory felt just as good.
I played in the biggest game on the biggest stage at our level, and like I told them after the game, it didn't feel any better than this.
Now, the result on the court wasn't quite as good for the men, but there was one bright spot. Brent Haley made 5 threes for 15 points. However, the senior point guard said the real highlight of his night was all the support he got from his family, his teammates, and his coach.
There was so much stuff going through my head, like from Coach Trev being the last time I played for him at home, and just him giving the opportunity to recruit me, and I got that aspect, and at the same time playing with my teammates for the last time home. And then I look at my family, and it's like all the sacrifices they made to give me this experience.
When Brent Haley calls me in 4 years, or out of the blue, or Udin Asakwa gives me a call, or even Sam Colmenero, bumps me somewhere, and that will make me the proudest. That will make me the proudest that I was able to give them something that they can carry for the rest of their lives.
Their time in an SF State jersey may be over, but these graduating Gators have made memories that will last forever. At San Francisco State University, I'm John Wilson, State of Events.